everyone. It is Morphin Mania time again. I am Captain Logan.
And I'm DJ.
And tonight, DJ and I are going to start Green with Evil. It's so exciting. How are we already here?
I always forget this is so early. It's crazy.
It blindsided me the first time Eric and I did a commentary on these, and then again later on when I did the rewind, I kept being blindsided by how early this is. Now I've got it in my head. Green with Evil is not in the latter half. It's earlier. And you think about all the Green Ranger two-parters in first season, it's like, oh yes, of course, Green with Evil would have to be this early.
Yeah, because he's only in first season, so he has to get in there pretty quick.
Yeah. Well, he goes into the second.
Oh, does he? White Light? Oh, yeah, because White Light's like...
Because White Light's in the middle of two, yeah.
You're right.
There's a lot of drama about him losing his powers and not being able to morph, and we keep doing that. So he'll lose it and not be able to morph for a while in this, but then he'll get it back, and then in 2, we'll keep doing that some more after Green Candle. And yeah, so
we'll be counting a lot of losing powers in that season.
We will. And when with the same character multiple times. And when you're a kid, you think that there's like some real deep character drama going on with that. And where it's like, you know, look at this really sad internal conflict that Tommy's having to go through. Look at how tragic a character he is. No, not really. He just can't really use his powers, and it sucks that he doesn't get to be a ranger, and he's depressed about it. That's it. There's nothing more to it than that.
At least it wasn't the Spider-Man 2 thing where he can't use his powers because he's depressed.
Right. They don't do that whole thing. Okay, so I am really excited to finally do a live commentary on this. For those of you watching live, we're going to be doing the first 2 episodes tonight, and then when we come back on Friday, we're going to do one show with the other 3. It'll be our first 3-part show here on Morphin Mania, and then that night we'll also do some more shows after that. So, DJ, are you ready? Let's go ahead and just jump right into it.
Let's do it.
If you are watching after the fact, make sure to rig up your Netflix or your DVDs, however you want to watch it. Get it to timestamp 0 and get ready to press play when I say now. If you're watching live, you can click on the rabbit room in the description and you can see the exact stream that we're watching together and watch along with us so you don't have to sync it. Let's go ahead and get started right now. Everybody, please press play right now.
Still Halloween.
Here we go. Green with you. Yeah, I do that anyway. I don't know. Yeah, we are shooting this on Halloween. I guess for you, it's after Halloween. You're an hour ahead of me.
Oh, yeah. It's the next day. It's November 1st.
It's the next November 1st. That would be the next day, yeah. Hi, folks, in the comments there. Thomas Edgehill. Interestingly, I used to go by Tommy, and my favorite color is green.
Oh.
People talking about different colors they prefer for Tommy other than green. Back Studio says he likes the Black Ranger Tommy better. Brachio got really popular, and I want to say from Dino Thunder, and I don't think it's just because it was Tommy. I mean, that was a lot of it, but it is one of the cooler costumes. Yeah,
it's cool. I think it's the coolest. I actually prefer it. I think it's the coolest Dino Thunder suit.
I mean, the white suit is neat. I don't know. I go back and forth on those. I think Trent's suit's also really cool.
I think it's really cool, but I don't like the sides. The legs, like the little triangles down his legs. I don't know. I don't know why I don't like that.
Yeah, Thomas Edgehill, for people watching this in the future, last week was New Year's. But for us right now as we're recording, we're having some kind of time displacement issues. So right away, we're going to set up this thing that would make you think that Jason and Tommy might be rivals kind of fighting for dominance. And we just miss every possible opportunity for that. It's almost like Gene Roddenberry is making the show, where we're just not allowed to have any internal or any interpersonal conflict at all.
Yeah, aren't they like best buds right after they fight?
Yeah. But I guess it's foreshadowing for whoa, he'd be a great Green Ranger. I guess it's foreshadowing where later on, after they're rivals because they're forced together to be rivals, they're gonna be friends, So yeah. I'm gonna pretend like that was intended, and like it's a nice bookend writing.
That's definitely the real Goldar now, full on.
Yes,
obviously, because it's Green with Evil.
But like I said, he jumps back and forth. I think it might even be inside of Green with Evil where suddenly he has the other voice, but maybe not. We'll see. I forget now. I forget now.
So this is fun. This is always interesting to me. I always think it's funny that in movies and television, you spar with no pads. and it's just like a common thing when every tournament you go to, you always wear pads. It's like even in Karate Kid where they're just like beating each other up with no pads on.
That's because they're hardcore, man. That's MMA before MMA. It's child MMA fighting.
Yeah. Even MMA fighters wear gloves. It's like,
well, yeah, no, that's true.
This is like it's more extreme than
I was trying to think of something really extreme, yeah. Well, that's a good point. It's like sparring means we're never going to accidentally hit each other. I don't know if it's really easy to watch this and tell how exactly we're getting points. Is it just getting knocked out of the mat? Like, what is it?
Sometimes it's like chest shots. Sometimes it's, I guess that was another chest shot. I don't know.
Yeah, how do we score this? Like, do the people making the show know how this competition works?
And also, why was it a draw? Time limits or something?
Because Tommy is important, DJ. That's why. Because he's going to be the only person who can come in and who could be the Green Ranger wearing green and being brand new to the school, but it will still be a giant surprise when our characters finally find out. They are sleuths about it too, let me tell you.
Is this the harp music?
Yes. Got to have the harp. Yep.
Oh, he's got a purple towel. He can't be the Green Ranger.
I almost made that joke. So, Rita's just been sitting on this power coin that we didn't know she had. And out of nowhere, she's going to go, look, a new guy! Let's make him the Green Ranger. There's my favorite skull hat. Has he worn the question mark hat before this? I was talking about it before, but I can't remember if we actually saw it.
I think I saw it once before.
Ciro says, I guess padding just isn't visually interesting.
Yeah, it can be. Depending.
Yeah. William Parcell, do you think they knew how popular Tommy would become? No, definitely not. No. Because he was not meant to continue initially.
I love that right off the bat, he's doing his signature jump spinning outside crescent kick that he does all the time.
All the time.
That's great.
He led with that.
That must have clearly been something he did in the audition.
Yeah, I can just see the director or producer offset right now going, yeah, do that thing that you did in the audition. Baron OKC says he likes that they had a reason for that coin in the movie. Yeah, me too. I mean, it becomes your typical, well, the bad guy must have previously been one of the good guys thing, where it had to be an evil Power Ranger. But it was nice to have an explanation for it, sure.
Yeah, we have never talked about the movie together, but I really like the way their take on Rita a lot. And I think that's the way to go if you don't want to, because the witch thing was so based on the Sentai that I think I really love the whole backstory with that.
I like what little we got of it.
Yeah. I like the concept.
I'm looking forward to talking about that with you.
Yeah.
Because I have a lot of mixed feelings about that movie, and I feel like there is a half an hour we're missing that we're never going to get to see.
Yeah. I need to rewatch it again. I've only seen it in the theater. I haven't seen it since.
Wow. I'm fascinated by that movie. I've gone back to it a couple of times.
I was loving it so much, and then the ending just killed it, and I remember it so much worse than I probably actually do like it because of that ending.
The ending is rough, yeah.
So I never go back to it.
The big inspired idea in that is the notion that the Power Rangers can't protect themselves if their heart's not in the right place. I love that. I love that so much.
And that's the Captain America thing we were talking about earlier.
Yes.
That explains why they can have the powers and it's not boring just because they have powers.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Beck Studio says, I'm sorry, am I the only one who thinks Bulk looks like Penn Jillette from Penn and Teller? A little bit.
Yeah, that's interesting. I like this Jackie Chan stuff where he's using his surroundings. I always like that in movies.
Ciro says he likes the idea of the Green Ranger power coin somehow being an artificial coin created by Rita. Yeah, that works too.
And here we see the origin of, this is where Captain America in the 2011 movie was inspired, with the trash can lid.
Is that where you got it?
Yeah, they were watching this.
Because that's the only place where we ever did that before. I'm sure that had never happened in any 90s action movie or, yeah. So yeah, one of the things that drives me crazy about Rita is that some weeks it's like she knows she's in a TV show or is making the show herself, right? Where she'll go, some weeks she goes, let's send out a monster I know can't possibly win. This is going to be a one-off week. And then she'll have an episode like this where she just throws everything under the sun at the Power Rangers. Now, her plans don't make any sense. And she acts, the show acts like it's plans within plans, but it's not. And it's just whatever the Sentai footage had. And we want to use all this stuff from this big epic episode we had.
Yeah, they like to act like it keeps escalating, but it's more like a roller coaster all the way through.
Yeah, and you just wonder, like, she should be acting more desperate where it's like, okay, I'm so sick. Like 16 episodes in, I haven't been able to dispose of these stupid teenagers. Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Sorry.
That's Barai. He dies. Spoiler alert, but it's in the episode title. Barai dies. Anyway, but Rita will like bring in all of this stuff that we didn't know about that she could have brought in at any time. Like, why did she never call Scorpina before this?
It's like she wakes up with a case of the Mondays and she's just like, I don't feel like doing it, Finster. Just send out some boring regular monster.
Yeah, I guess she's just really in the mood today. Rita's super bipolar, man. Like, she just goes back and forth. And of course, simultaneously, like, this is real convenient that like Zordon has to hibernate because he's like an interdimensional bear, I guess.
That American shield is so bad.
It's the worst.
Why
no, it's really sad. They had like $5 and I don't know if they make a better one later or if they always use this one. And I wonder if you can start seeing more cracks in it the more they use it.
He was just like bumping it and it was just flopping around.
Yeah. It's Halloween costume material, right? It's that foam.
So this is the thing that I remember from your and Eric's commentary on this is like the first episode is like crazy. Like a lot of stuff actually happens, especially for kids at this time. It would be really scary. And then it just like meanders around for 3 episodes and then it ends.
Yeah, and we were blindsided by that because we remembered this being a little bit more coherent and not having such a draggy middle.
Yeah, like he's already become we already have a new Ranger, which is big news already. He's broken in, he's deactivated Alpha, he's destroying the Zordon.
Yeah, we wasted no time here. But we will waste a lot of time in the middle as the Power Rangers are trying to figure out the obvious identity of the Green Ranger. And by the way, they won't actually figure it out. It'll just be on the viewing globe. Oh, that's who it is.
And then they're like, no
way, it's not. And of course, we know from the beginning, like, even if it was really obvious like this, it might have been neater to do all of that in the background, for kids and make it a mystery for the children watching. And not actually see Green Ranger, or not actually see Tommy, talked to by Rita and given the coin and everything. But of course, we had all that Sentai footage, so we got to pad the time.
At the very least, he could not wear green clothes until he becomes the Green Ranger.
Right. No, that's what I always assumed, is that Rita looked at it. It wasn't about his karate skills. It wasn't about his build. It wasn't about anything. It wasn't about his age. It was just, he's wearing green. He would be a great Green Ranger. Baron OKC makes a great point. Yeah, you got to put yourself back in the place and time as a kid. He says, this is the first time a bad guy got in the command center. As a kid, it was so tense. Yeah, that was a big deal.
Yeah. Yeah, we're not talking bad about this episode. It's the next ones.
No, certainly. Look, continuity. We got the rad bug bag.
The rad bug.
Again, it's going to go into the command center differently than it did last time.
There's another arcade game.
Yeah, what is it? I always assume that it's not a real thing because they don't want to worry about copyright infringement, so they just make up something.
It's something ball.
Something ball, yeah.
Do they lose the Zords in this one too, or is that next episode?
I think that's the next episode. I think they have a big Megazord fight with Scorpina and stuff later.
Okay.
Yeah, no, you remember because when Scorpina becomes a monster, she looks completely different.
Yeah, exactly.
She has a monster form.
Like an actual
now,
Scorpina.
that's in the Sentai 2, though, if memory serves.
Yeah, they like to do that. The same thing with the Psycho Rangers later. You'll see they have like a ranger form, and then they turn into monsters when they grow.
Yeah, see, they didn't have to go down the pipe this time. They just showed up. I don't know how they did that. But yeah, so this time it made sense that they would use the Rad Bug because they can't teleport.
Yeah.
But I guess we figured out that they actually couldn't teleport last time.
See, that's what they needed in the 95 movie because they can't teleport because Ivan Ooze destroys it and they just have to like run there and like pry the door open. They should have had the Rad Bug.
I don't know how long it took them to run there, but then again, in the new movie, we know exactly how long it takes to drive there, but then they have no problem walking back and forth for the rest of the movie.
It's like the island from Lost. It moves around.
Sure. No, I thought you were going to say the Rad Bug should have gone to space.
To fight Ivan Ooze?
Yeah, no, when they go to see Dulcia. Oh
yeah. That's the only way.
We don't know if we have enough power to bring you back. That's okay. We'll just take our flying car. It's also supposed to be a big deal whenever Goldar goes large, but again, Rita seems to have unlimited resources. Why doesn't Goldar always accompany the monster large?
Yeah, I don't know. Is he getting any,
all you had to do is have Rita talk about power the same way the Power Rangers do. We don't have enough power. We don't have enough, she never says that. Like,
did you see that? You see that other putty? I love when those ones show up. They're very rare. I think that must be only a Sentai thing.
Okay, so it's not. Here's what's weird about that. Those are. I wasn't seeing exactly what you were in. It's funny because you were pointing, like that helps me at all. But I'm pretty sure those are the super putties, and or what we use as the super putties here in the Sentai. Because I've watched Green with Evil in the Sentai, and they're like leader putties there. But here, early on, we'll see them, but they won't actually be anything different. But later on, if it's the same design, I think it is. We do a thing with them, but we pretend like we've never seen them before.
Yeah, I really like them. They look more like putties. They're actually like the movie putties, where they're actually made of rock instead of just the gray.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the big giant rock putties, but
no, I don't like the movie ones, but that's like a good hybrid of the two. I keep pointing. I'm gonna stop.
No, do it. It's hilarious. A cinematographic. You'd think the Rangers. Look at that. You'd think the Rangers would use 50,000 outfits to vary it up with their civilian clothes so as not to arouse suspicion. Yeah, but they know they're the heroes of the story and that nobody's ever going to find out about them because their hearts are in the right place, so they're always going to win and everything. They don't have to worry about it.
Still doing the crystals.
Yep. For no good reason.
Yeah.
Sometimes they make tank mode happen. Sometimes they just make the Megazord. Oh no, it is tank mode. I'm sorry. It is. I think they're using it to make tank mode happen. Now, the question you have to ask yourself is, why do you need a special crystal for that?
And then they just go right to Megazord.
I don't know why they did tank mode in the first. They don't need an intermediary to go to the. I guess they just wanted to show it to us because it looks cool. It does look cool.
It does.
Ciro says, yeah, it'd be interesting if Rita's magic was weak from being locked up for 10,000 years. No, that'd be great. Yeah, where it's just like, I only have so much, and I got the overhead of the palace, to think about. I got to keep the lights on.
Oh my goodness.
Whoever Bandora was, it was really nice of her to leave her palace on the moon.
Is Goldar's tail like pinned back up in the back?
Yes, it is. He doesn't want to trip over it, like he's got to tie his shoes all the time.
See, this is also awesome. They do in the first episode right away.
Where he jumps up onto the head?
Yeah, and just punches him right out of the place.
It's nuts how much we get done in this first episode and how much of a slog it is after this.
Yeah, this episode on your top 10? Or top whatever you did?
I mean, I didn't do that show as a top 10. I did like favorite episodes,
Okay.
but I did favorite like at the end of that video. I just did that one as an overview, but for the rewind. But at the end of it, I talked about a few of my favorite episodes apart from Green with Evil because that's obvious.
Gotcha. But it's like
And
this episode is great. I don't even like separate from the rest of Green with Evil.
No, and apart from the pilot, this is the place to start.
Yeah.
Like, it's really easy to just skip to this. This is the best of both worlds of Power Rangers. Like, you start here to, show people what all the hubbub's about. He just threw a DVD at them.
There's that, and then he posed for that picture that's all over.
Right, for a picture that nobody took. Hey, DJ, I have a question for you.
Sure.
Why are there the ruins of an ancient temple in the middle of Angel Grove?
Culture, man. Angel Grove is all about the culture. They have Easter Island heads, man. That's much more weird.
Okay, so that's a thing that never really pays off, right? Where it's like, bring Zordon back. We need answers. And when he comes back, he's not all that helpful.
I mean, what answers do you need? It's an evil Green Ranger, clearly.
Well, yeah, but Zordon knows everything, so he can tell them who he is. He can just be like, and they never ask him where he gets his information or to cite his sources or anything, you know?
Just omniscient.
He's like if Wikipedia didn't need a bibliography at all. It's like, yeah, like they get rid of Zordon just because, for the kids, like, oh my God, and they don't have their mentor.
Yeah.
And they hope that it won't occur to us we don't really need him for anything.
Yeah, it's like when the Turtles lose Splinter, but that actually means something.
William Purcell says, I completely forgot the gold monster in the movie was Goldar. Fair, because it wasn't.
It's not Goldar.
It's not Goldar. It's not even a monster.
It shouldn't
really
be there. It doesn't.
I know.
That commentary is going to be interesting. I'm going to have to just block the whole ending out of my mind and enjoy the beginning for a little bit, because I'll just start talking about the ending again.
Which is funny, because the big problem with that movie is it doesn't want to do the Power Ranger stuff until the end, and then the Power Ranger stuff is boring.
Yeah, don't do it if you're...
And like, I'm glad they focused on the character drama, but you didn't have to contrive a reason to not do any of the... You can do both! And what I heard the director that... We'll talk about all this, but what I heard the director of that movie say was, well, we felt like we needed to earn it. We spent the first 2 acts earning it. No, you're making a Power Rangers movie. You don't have to earn it. Somebody hires you to make a Power Rangers movie. Like, no, you're in, buddy. You don't have to keep, like, vying for the job,
To answer your question, David Crabtree, tune into the Turbo season sample that we're going to do.
Yeah, because, again, if you're watching this after the fact, you don't know what DJ's talking about. David Crabtree's comment is, does Angel Grove have an actual police department? And if so, is it run by Captain O'Hara? Which is a 60s Batman reference. Yeah, so we know that they have a police department by Zeo into Turbo. And because we do the whole junior police force thing. But that actually starts in Zeo. Or is it in Turbo? I'm forgetting.
I think you're right. I think it... When do they do the detective thing? Is that season 3?
The detective thing is in Zeo. So I don't know if I think the police thing is before that.
Okay. But I know
it's not Turbo. They're monkeys through part of Turbo.
But I know that they are police officers in Turbo, because when they first turn into monkeys, they're in their police officer outfit.
Maybe they went back to it, or maybe the movie forgot where they were before that. I don't remember. We'll talk about it when we get there. Anyway,
and of course they're police officers in the Turbo movie when they get...
That's what I'm saying, yeah.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah, but I just watched some Zeo the other day, and they're private detectives there. They go through their private detective exam.
Okay. Yeah, it's all over the place.
Anyway, so we're gonna get into Green with Evil Part 2. That's gonna be the last thing we do on our show today. And the last thing for the batch. No, I continue to marvel at how dense and how much that first episode gets done. And watch how much this one will not. It's gonna be great. All right. Everybody, please get ready to press play when I say now. And again, if you're watching live, you don't have to do that. Just look at the rabbit room. Here we go. Everybody, please press play right now. But yeah, this episode is, of course, really the reason that this show takes off the way it does, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, if everyone saw that first episode, I guess they felt like we got you hooked now, so we'll just do this for 3 episodes.
Well, the reason this is so long is because the Sentai was longer. The Sentai was 6. This was 5. They treat it like an event because it looks like an event, like with the Sentai footage.
Mm-hmm.
And, they've got this other ranger, so, like, it makes sense to make a big deal out of it. But, like, what they have is already more epic than, the Sentai stuff before this. And so, it's not 5 episodes because they're trying to stretch it. It's 5 episodes because, they actually dropped one. So they're trying to stretch to fill the material that they feel like they have to use.
But I feel like they rushed the first one too much. Like, I'm sure he doesn't turn into the Green Ranger that fast in the Sentai.
I'm forgetting. No, he doesn't. It's not quite that fast. But again, they have an extra episode.
Yeah.
There's a lot more background and stuff.
Yeah.
And there's the mythology about like getting the suit in the first place and where it comes from and all of that.
That's a cool little.
Can you fix our incompetent robot so that we can figure this problem out? I'm sorry.
That's a cool little side room of the command center over here with those tubes in the background.
Yep. Don't know what those are for. What's all that liquid doing?
It's Zordon's people. It's where he keeps the other.
That's where he keeps the rest of his Eltarian friends.
Yeah, it's like the Utroms in the IDW comics. They're just all in there.
They're all back there. William Parcell says he watched the pilot to the Sentai version, and that pilot's insane. No, it is. It's nuts. No, Zooranger's a lot of fun. I've not watched all of it. I've seen the pilot. I've seen a couple of other episodes, and I've seen all of Green Medieval, including Burai Dies. So the Sword of Darkness, you'd think would just be a thing that already goes with the Green Ranger, like it's his signature weapon. No, Goldar just goes, oh, like, I know, Sword of Darkness. And Rita's like, that's a great idea. And that's her whole plan all the way through this. She or someone else just goes, we could go to Scorpina. We could use this Sword of Darkness.
It's weird because it doesn't look like a Power Ranger's weapon. It's like not his weapon.
So, did you notice that in the subtitles on Netflix, Zordon is spelled Zordan?
Is that where you got it from?
No. That it was a thing I saw later and was like, oh wow. In Spawn Year sequels, we had a plan to turn Dan Torrey into Zordon and call him Zordan.
Zordan.
Which again will probably not happen at this point, so I don't mind giving some things away of things we were gonna do. At some point, I might sit down and just break down all of our plans for that. But yeah, Dan was gonna be Zordan. He was gonna be in a tube. Okay, so you were scared of him in the hallway, but you're not scared of him now? Like, you didn't run off because teacher saw you. You ran off because you were terrified of this guy, and now he has a scary scowl on his face. I don't understand.
And you're in an alley alone with him where no one can see him beat you up.
Yeah, and Skull's not going to be helpful.
He's so great in the very beginning.
I guess he could just yeah, it's hysterical. This is what evil looks like. I'm gonna do the rest of the commentary with that phase.
So they literally saw his eyes do that because they said he should get his eyes checked.
And saw lightning shoot out of them.
Like, how are they not? Is this where they start suspecting them?
No, they never suspect him. They will never actually suspect him.
Now he wears gloves when he's hitting the bag.
And did you see it? Zordon again.
Zordon.
But yeah, Jason's. I don't mean to comment too much on subtitles, but that cracks me up. How'd you mess that up? And consistently.
There it is again.
Yeah. It's not his name. So I'm assuming the reason they changed it from Zoltar to Zordon is they came up with Zords later, and they thought, oh, it should be in his name. I don't know if that's true, but
yeah, Megazolt didn't really roll off the tongue.
Yeah, you got a jolt of Megazolt. But at least we have our incompetent robot bag. Shri pronounced that really hard. Zordon, almost like she saw the subtitles. Those are wrong.
She's breaking the fourth wall. She's angry at the subtitles.
William Barcel, you'd think a space wizard would be able to make a more competent robo-assistant. Maybe he just found him somewhere. I don't remember if it's mentioned. He's got green pants even.
Wow. And it's the same color green.
Like precisely the same. It could be a jumpsuit with a net top.
If he had sleeves, he could just blend right in with the lockers.
He'd just be a floating head. It's amazing. Okay, so I get why Kimberly liked Tommy. I mean, superficially, I guess, in the first place, like he's good at martial arts and she thinks he's cute, yada, yada, yada. But after this scene, she should not care about him at all. Well, excuse me for living. I always remember that.
Got him.
So I always bring this up when I talk about this episode, but obviously it would have been a lot more interesting if Tommy was kind of an actual real bad boy character, and if he was maybe coerced into doing this or tricked, or it just seemed like a good idea at the time, and maybe he, found some goodness within himself later, learned a lesson, thought that Rita wasn't as bad as she seemed, or didn't think that it was going to lead to horrible things happening. They're singing in that scene, by the way, in the Sentai. Bandora has a song and she's constantly singing.
Oh man, I looked away for a second. I was writing down the second evil ranger in our list.
They're walking down a hill.
Okay.
And she's singing. Bag Studio says, knowing how much of a hodgepodge of random footage it is, these shows are extremely impressive. Yeah, and DJ thought even more impressive after I told him that they didn't even know what these shows were about and they just had random bits of footage to use. Did we need the double kick?
Take.
Like the frame thing? Yeah. So I don't understand this, DJ.
Yeah.
Why does Tommy have to keep being tested when he's basically a programmed automaton?
And he basically destroyed the Rangers on his first attempt. Like,
yeah. Like, wouldn't this be the first thing you'd think they do? I mean, don't get me wrong, I really appreciated how quickly we got into everything last episode. But if she thought he needed training even with mind control, where it's like, I don't know if he's good enough yet. You wouldn't even give him the power yet. You could mind control him without giving him the power coin.
Trampoline. with the in shot, they intercut the jump off the ground.
That's a good point. I don't know how you do that move without hurting your back real bad.
It's sand. Sand's actually really soft.
Okay. So am I right in assuming that that's a move you can only do with like Power Rangers powers? Like you wouldn't really be able to like jump onto somebody's shoulders and flip back like that exactly like he does, would you?
Yeah, they do that a lot with And I'm actually kind of forgiving of it when they use wires and stuff, since they're supposed to have, extra powers.
William Parcell says maybe the tests are to see if the real Tommy would try taking control again. Yeah, that's great. If you want to just like make up things after the fact, that would help to make this make more sense. But that's pretty clearly not what's going on. I like that. That would have been good.
Well, they do a better version of this, I think, in Zeo, when Tommy literally gets brainwashed. Have you seen that episode? You've seen that episode.
Yeah. Oh, no, I've seen all of Zeo. I mean, it's been a while.
Yeah.
But yeah. No, what I don't like about that, though, is that instead of just convincing him that he's an evil person, they just say, we're the good guys. And it's the Power Rangers. From our perspective, the Power Rangers are evil. Did you notice that Jason also has red pants?
Red on red.
And it's also the same color of pants as the shirt, just like Tommy? See, it's a character parallel.
It's like their uniforms, like they're working for, like they're janitors somewhere.
Janitors. So, everybody strap in, because Jason's going to be in this pocket dimension for quite a while.
I love how Zach just has his shirt unzipped halfway. That's something you don't see these days. Zippers on shirts.
Sure, there's not a lot of those. When I was a kid, I never noticed, and I mean, you were talking about the communicator props last episode. I mean, they're really, really cool. And I never noticed until they made reproductions that each Ranger has their color across the stripes. I never noticed that, but they do have them.
Yeah, it's really cool. That's what makes me like. Even if they weren't ridiculously expensive, I can never decide which one I would want.
I want the gold one. It's $500.
Like, I think I would just like to go with black, because it's just kind of, if I ever wore it, it would just
neutral.
kind of go with everything.
Yeah, I mean, like, I would want anything but probably like pink, yellow, or blue. Because I think like red would go with things okay. Maybe blue would be okay, I guess. But
yeah, I would go with blue. But my entire wardrobe is blue and gray, so I think I wouldn't get red.
Baron OKC is right. Yeah, they really love the pocket dimension plot device. They use that constantly.
Well, it's a good way to get to the Sentai footage without having to go to that location.
Yes, that's yeah. I thought about building the pocket dimension set in my house and making it like a ball pit for children. Because I think that would look awesome. I think that's a thing that Eric and I maybe came up with when we tried to do a commentary on this for this show that got started over. Okay, so see, they went in the tube this time. I don't know why they cut it from the previous footage. I'm fixated on that anyway. But if you're bummed that Eric's not here with us, he and I have done a full commentary on Green with Evil before, and you can hear us watching it both for the first time in years. A little bit disappointed about how stretched thin it is.
Yeah, they were a lot more optimistic going into it.
Yes, they were. Thomas Edgehill, do Bulk and Skull ever get suits? No, they never become Rangers. They do make up superhero suits later in this season, trying to pass themselves off as better heroes than the Power Rangers. The Boom comics do a thing where they either in a dream or something, I can't remember what it is, where they become Power Rangers, and their suits are really funny in that.
So this show doesn't take place in real time. Like, a season is not a year, right? Because they're already at driving age, and then they're in high school till like Turbo.
Till the end of time, yes.
5 years later.
Yeah, I'm assuming the entire first season happens in about 3 months, honestly.
Yeah, because they have to be like 16 here, which is like 10th, 11th grade.
Well, you maybe didn't know this, but in Angel Grove, you're in high school for like 10 years, DJ.
That was a great face.
That punch sound was a little much.
This is cool. Just fighting Goldar like just barehanded.
Well, I mean, I'm glad you think this is cool because you're going to be watching it for quite a while. It's a lot of dry ice in this pocket dimension. It is the dry ice dimension. The only thing that exists in this dimension is air, Goldar, and smoke. That's it. And a fog machine. Air and a fog machine. That's it. I don't know why Zach said that with such attitude. He's like, "Oh, right then."
He's so frustrated that he had to say it.
Have him meet us at the bluff, Alpha. Like he didn't expect Alpha to actually comply with that. He's like, "Oh, right then. It's morphin time." I don't know why. I always liked back to action.
Yeah,
I'm talking about where we're already morphed, but we have our helmets off.
And they do.
Jason always puts his hands like down on his belt. Like, back to action. I was like that.
That's what you should say when we get to the second episode of each show.
I should. We're gonna start doing that. Write that down so I don't forget we're gonna do that. That turn she does, they use that footage over and over and over again. When she just said yes, she'll turn and she'll go, yeah. There's a bunch of episodes where we use that. What's the next step in your evil plan? I don't know, honestly. I don't know. Maybe send out another giant monster. Scorpina is probably available. She's not usually doing anything.
So is this Scorpina's first appearance as Green with Evil? Interesting.
Yeah, and she's not a creature that we create. She's just off somewhere doing nothing, sipping lattes. I don't know. And then Rita's like, "Hey, could you come help us out? This time we're really trying." I think Kimberly should say that more often because it's funny. Let's keep it together. We're in this Megazord with all these different pieces, and there's every possibility somebody's gonna punch one off. Let's keep it together. They need to do tank mode this time.
I think last episode she said, "Let's get it together." So
okay,
like continuity to her expression.
It's a sequel, you know. It's the next day, you know. They got it together before. Now they gotta keep it together. This time, she should be more specific. This time, let's try to keep Green Ranger from getting inside the Megazord. Yeah.
Oh, the Mastodon shield. That's cool.
Yeah. Why did you disappear there?
You gave up really easily. Really
fast, yeah. If you're in the Megazord right now, you're like, why did we go to all this trouble? We should just...
Wait, did they just call the Megazord even though nobody got big? Did they break the rules?
I think that is what happened. Why did they call the Megazord? Because that was the footage they had. Now you could say Green Ranger is so powerful it's not escalating the fight because we think we need like the Megazord is the only thing we have that's on power to scale with his power, I guess, maybe, but
yeah.
But you wouldn't go there because the last time you did it, he jumped in the head. Oh, and does that lend further credence to our argument about whether or not they're in the middle or the head?
Yeah. I can't remember if it showed him. It showed him going into the head, right?
That's what I thought was going on. Or standing on the shoulder. Does he like jump behind, like in the side? I don't know. Zero. They escalated the fight. Yeah, no, DJ does make a really good point with that. So Zordan, are you just like randomly spewing whatever comes to mind, hoping they'll get snippets of it? Like, why are you even talking right now until you come back? Because you're not saying anything that's actually going to help them if they hear it. Like I get if you have a message, sure. They just go, Green Ranger. Yeah, we know about that. He is trying to say where he is, but that's a big question I have. So he's in a time warp, but he's talking like he's stuck in a physical location that he wasn't in before. How does he know where he is? And I like all of that really, really boggles my mind. I don't know what's going on.
Trying to think about what Zordon actually is.
It also drove David Fielding crazy because he always thought that some really interesting, like, region-specific backstory could have been given to Zordon. We never got it, and he hated that. Made him really angry.
They should have put him in the wall.
yeah, that would have solved everything. Sure. All right. Well, we're already 2 episodes into Green with Evil. That second episode wasn't as elongated as I remembered, but it will get more that way as we go along.
Yeah, I mean, nothing really happened like the first episode, but
no, we got Jason into a pocket dimension, and we made a Megazord for no reason.
Got some FaceTime for the Mastodon shield. Just cool.
Yeah, we sure did.
Threw Bulk and Skull in a dumpster.
Yeah. No, you're right. We didn't really get anything done, did we? Because we also felt the need to train a guy or to I don't know, to like send putties up against a guy that we'd already chosen and gave powers to train him. I don't understand that.
Well,
or to test him, I guess.
That's one thing we did.
That was really important. And we found out that Zordon is lost in space and time.
Space and time. All right, we did it.
Well, they call it a time warp. I don't know.
Halfway there.
Yep. Well, almost halfway. It's 5, so you know.
Yeah. One show down, one to go.
Sure. That's fair. Yeah. I'm quibbling over semantics. It's fun. You should try it sometime. Anyway, thanks a lot for watching, guys. We sure appreciate it. If you're watching live, we're going to be back on Friday with the rest of Green with Evil and a couple episodes after that. So come back and see us if you are so inclined. And if you're watching this in 2019, we sure appreciate that as well. And if you're watching this on Patreon at any point, we also appreciate that, as I speak to 3 different audiences. DJ and I sure appreciate you. We had a lot of fun. And we'll see you again next time. Thanks, DJ.
Yeah, it's been fun.
See you later, folks. Bye.